just to make sure we have them out, and we are going to keep track of the screws. So it's normally 2 screws on the bottom that should come off very easy. And keep track of your screws always. We have those 2, and now we are going to start either screw removal to get into it. Alright, we're gonna let it sit for some time, and then once it's nice and hot, we're going to start praying the screen open. We're going to help us out with a little bit of isopropyl to make the opening easier, just by going around. Let me center the screen. We put some isopropyl around the screen. Just to help out a little bit with the opening process. Alright. Just gonna wait a little bit. And we should be able to lift the screen up by doing it little by little. Let's see, just be patient, and we can help ourselves with a little bit of just with a little blade. Just to help out a little bit with the lifting. So now we go to this side over here. Just like so. Apply a little bit more isopropyl. We keep doing the lifting. As you can see now, the screen came off a little bit. Keep doing it slowly, giving this phone a little bit of time to lift. Alright, it looks like we are doing some progress. Lift that. I'm going to make sure the screen is going to lift. And it should be easy for us to lift the screen. Like so. Putting a little bit of isopropyl around. Should be able to get it up in a little bit. Giving the phone a little bit of time. Now we want to switch around to try to lift the other side. Okay. And now we start with the lifting process again. We apply a little bit of isopropyl around, and then we're going to help ourselves with a little bit of alcohol over here. Just giving them time. And it's coming off. So you can see right now we have a little opening. Keep lifting. And that should be enough. We grab our phone, and now we have the opening. We start lifting the screen. Just wiggling a little bit. To get it open. Okay, just like so. Being careful about it. Now we're gonna remove the screws in the bottom to make sure remove those brackets. Disconnect the battery and the screen. Alright, so we have that one out. And we need to remove this other bracket up here. And I believe it's going to be 2 screws. Remember, always keep track of your screws so you don't lose them or put them in the wrong place when you put your device back. For this one is 3 screws. Alright, we have those screws out. Now we are going to disconnect the battery. Now since the battery is disconnected, we go ahead and disconnect the screen. And the sensor, Face ID. There we go. Let's see where I'm missing one more connector right here. There we go, and it should come off just like that. So we have the screen out. Now we're going to try to remove the battery. The battery is going to have some of the double-sided tape. So, and those are going to be hiding under these little stickers. Careful not to poke the screen. I mean the battery. And then once you grab it, make sure you grab it with your tweezers and start twisting. That one broke. So yeah, the problem with this one is if they break, you're gonna have to use more alcohol and stuff. So this is a little hard to do sometimes. Let me grab different tweezers. And then now we have this one. Hopefully we can get a better hold of this sticker. It's not letting us do it. Once we grab it, we're just gonna pull it forward. Yep. This one broke as well, so in this case we are going to use a little bit of isopropyl, dump it under, and then we want to lift the battery up. I believe there's going to be another 2 stickers, double-sided tape under here. See if we can lift just a little bit of isopropyl alcohol. Yep, here next. This double-sided tape breaks. Let's try the other one. So what I'm going to do is just put a little bit of isopropyl here, just around to help out with the process. And I'm gonna lift the battery. I'm gonna start from this end. I'm gonna do it slowly. I have this. See if we can get it from here, since the double-sided tape broke. I'm gonna need a lot of patience in here so we don't just let the alcohol help. A little bit, just let it. Careful about it, make sure not to use a lot of strength, otherwise you might end up damaging the screen. I mean the battery. Okay, it's coming up with a little bit of alcohol. That helped a lot. Alright, and this is how it was supposed to come off. These are the double-sided tape that keeps the battery down, but it didn't help a lot. So now I'm gonna clean this up a little bit and then just install the new one, which is right here. Just make sure this is nice and clean. Then we remove the wrapping plastic. And this one, and then now before, so the tape's still good, we're gonna keep that one, we're gonna use it. So before we put it down, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna connect the battery first and then put it down. Otherwise it's not, it might not be in the right place. So we don't want this one to be stuck in there. We find the connector. Okay, looks like it's all the way in. And now that this one is in, we install the battery, we let it down. And now the battery is in place. Alright, so now we know that the connector should be in place as well. If it moves or whatever, we have to make sure it's not this one. If it looks like it moved a little bit, so I have to lift the battery again. And then we want to make sure that the battery is going to fit. It's going to stay connected before we put the sticky double-sided. Okay, so right now it's connected, it's in place. Now we are going to make sure it keeps popping, so it's going to need some work. Need to make sure it's going to fit properly. There we go. So now the battery stays on, it's there. So yeah, fits good. We're gonna apply a little bit of the double-sided tape under. Let me grab it. We don't need a lot, it's just gonna be a little bit to keep the battery in place. So I'm gonna grab some double-sided tape. For that I use normally this, that one. So just a couple lines. It's gonna be 3 of them. Probably use two, one on top and one on the bottom. Alright, let's disconnect it. We're just gonna put one on top and one on the bottom. Alright, and we place the battery one more time right where it belongs. Keep the connector down. See the battery, and the battery is in place. The connector stayed down. Now we're gonna disconnect it again to connect our battery. To connect our screen. And now the battery is in place. I'm going to connect the battery now. So we start with the Face ID. Let's see if I can. Start from here, from the back. These connectors sometimes are the hardest one to put back. Let's see. Alright, one is down. Now we're going to do the other two. And as you can see right now, we don't have to use new glue or anything we're using the exact same glue that came with the device to seal the screen. But before we do that, we need to test the battery. To make sure it's gonna work. Before we put everything together. Alright, we have those connectors, and before we put everything together, we wanna test the device. Alright, let's see if it's gonna work. Before, the device didn't even power on. Now we have an image. It's powering on. and it should be good to go. Now we're gonna put the little brackets back in place, and that's gonna be, there we go. We have the image, we have the Apple, battery is working. So 56%. So we're gonna let it fill, get all the way full, and keep working on it. So right now we are going to start with the brackets. Alright, so for this one is going to be the one right here. Our screwdriver. Alright, let's grab this one instead. Alright, let's see. This thing is sometimes a little hard to do. With one hand or in this way, but alright, we have one in, and I recommend you not to secure in the screws right away until you put all of them back in place. There, and then make sure to put the screws where they belong, because some of them are longer than the other ones. Unfortunately, Apple uses different types. Alright, so we are going for the last three more screws. This is one more. One more, and the last one right here. Like I said, always keep track of your screws, make sure they go where they belong, and you should be good to go. And then at the end, just twist them a little bit more so they're nice and tight. Do not force them. And now we are going to put our screen back in place. As you can see, still good, and the adhesive in there still good. Just be careful when you put it back in place. Alright, so what I'm gonna do, or what I normally do, I'm gonna put this on my heating plate so the adhesive gets active again and sticks good back in place. So put this thing all the way in, no gaps. Now we put our bottom screws. Let's not forget those. They are super tiny. Careful not to drop them, otherwise you're gonna have to replace them. Let's see. I believe this is the screwdriver I need. So you can see very tiny screws. Super hard to to handle sometimes. Alright, we got one in, and then we go for the next one. These screws are the ones that secure your screen in place. Alright, we have screen in place, all good. There we go. We replaced the screen on an iPhone SE. As you can see, it's now nice and working. We're gonna get it full all the way connected, and it should be good to go. Alright, it should be it for today. We have another phone that we're working on. This one is gonna need some more work. As you can see, it's totally broken. They want us to replace the back, but it's not powering on. So we need to troubleshoot. We need to find out what's going on with it before we replace the screen, because if the main board is not repairable or whatever, it's not fixable, it's not worth for us or for the customer replacing the back. So stay put. We'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to follow.